We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to test key resistance levels. And in today's volatility, our SPY buy at 8:35 a.m. sent out a bull indicator. And from that moment forward, inflows crossed the midpoint to the upside, full strength there on 42 vision, and call options went up 50% plus within minutes to an hour, guys. And as you see, they're popping up within the screen, within the options chain. Some options even went higher than that. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to fight to stay above 435. We're going to talk about what key levels I would watch going into tomorrow and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on and receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our AMD bot. Our AMD bot at 9:35 a.m. sent out a bear indicator. And from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision. And put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to hit bright green bars. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, this is 42 vision, which allows us to see the dips from the rips to the dips, and where the strength and weakness lies within the charts. And we also use our bull and bear indicators and inflow versus outflow as an extra layer of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are on the SPY under a bull indicator since yesterday at around the 430.60 area, and inflows crossing over in the second half of the day. And we talked about it in yesterday's video that these inflows would need to continue to stay above and turn even higher if possible. And what happened in the pre-market? Outflows began, but not enough to destroy the chart completely because it was still above the midpoint. And then they switched at the opening from red to green. Another push back up towards inflows of about 2.77. Now outflows have began again. We're going to break that down in today's video. And things pushed up from 434 to highs here of 437, being one of the resistance levels that we were watching. Now, we're going to talk about the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. And the first thing is that's going to be crucial and critical is these inflow versus outflows. They're starting to begin. They have not crossed downwards, but if they do and that outflow continues, that could quickly start to reflect into these charts. And I would not ignore that. That is something to not overlook here. And if these inflows could hold above, well, then we have resistance levels to watch, right? So this is going to be crucial and critical. I'm going to be watching this very closely going into tomorrow And now when we zoom out and look at this from the 1 hour, we could see here within the 1 hour chart how those inflows started to pick up yesterday. They continue to push up higher today and have hit highs here of 4.4 above the midpoint, and that bull indicator from way down here at 427.50 area has continued that staircase effect up to this point. Now the question is, could it continue, right? And that's what we're going to look at in today's video. Now when we zoom in and look at this from the 15-minute, we could see within the volatility how things have actually reacted and how slightly outflows were dominating here in the second half of the day on this pullback from 437 to 435. Now, the bull indicator never got canceled. It's still in effect here, and that is something to not ignore. Could it continue pushing up higher? Well, that bull indicator cannot get canceled by a bear indicator, and these inflow versus outflows are really tight there near the midpoint, and if they cross down, it could quickly start to reflect into these charts. And you could see it there right in this area when the crossover actually happened. Outflows began here and things were choppy sideways, but once it crossed, things dropped from 436 very quickly down to 435. So something to not overlook there, and I would not ignore that. But a bull indicator is still in effect, even though those outflows slightly dominated and inflows are back above and they're green, right? Now, even though it's above and green, it's really close to the midpoint, and that is something that is not guaranteed just yet. Those inflows need to continue higher to reflect any further strength into these charts, and if not, it may cross back down, and that can create the probability of reflecting that weakness into these charts and canceling out this bull indicator in the process. Now, what are the key levels I would watch? Well, the first thing is support, guys, and the first support level I'll be watching is the 435 area. Things found support in the first half of the day, and in the second half here trying to bounce back up, and where these outflows slightly slowed down. But if 435 gets broken through and these outflows continue here on the 15-minute back below the midpoint, switching from green to red, reflecting that weakness into these charts and eventually canceling out the bull indicator here from around 434.50 with a possible bear indicator, and rolling that weakness over into the 30-minute chart and getting these outflows downwards to cross the midpoint. Well, then the next support I'll be watching is 433 area, and then below that is where the last bull indicator popped up, not that far off the consolidation from yesterday at around the 430.50 area. So those are the key levels I'll be watching to the downside. To the upside, if these inflows could switch from red to green, push up higher away from the midpoint and bring up those inflows here on the 15-minute higher, continuing that staircase effect here, holding that bull indicator true and pushing up to retest the highs of the day. Well, the first resistance is 437 in that tight range. Then above that is the 440 area, and then I'll be watching the 443 area. So those are the key levels I'll be watching to the upside. And to the downside, these inflow versus outflows are going to be crucial on the 1 hour. They're still green and above the midpoint, sitting at inflows of 4.40. The bull indicator from down here at around 427.50 is still in effect, but we have outflows beginning here on the 30-minute and also on the 15-minute. It's in a tight battle here, trying to come back up. So far at inflows jumping up, as we did this video, was sitting at around 0.4. Now it's at 0.74. So something to not ignore there, and I'll be watching that going into tomorrow if those inflows can continue pushing up and if it can bring these inflows from red to green on the 30-minute chart as well. By pulling away these inflows from red to green and pushing upwards away from the midpoint, I'll be watching these bull and bear indicators as well. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.